Lesson 2.1, we're going to be talking about percent of a number. Our objective is to find the percent of a number. To find the percent of a number, such as 60% of 2,000, you can use either of the following methods. You can write the percent as a fraction and then multiply, or you can write the percent as a decimal and then multiply. I personally would suggest a decimal just because I think it makes everything easier as you write it out. And typically, seventh graders work better with decimals than they do with fractions. But whatever you prefer is what you can choose to do here. Remember that like the percent of a number is talking about a part of it, right? So if we're talking about 60% of 2,000, that's a part of the 2,000. So it'll be a smaller number than 2,000. So if you got a bigger number than 2,000, you would know you had gotten the wrong answer. So that's just something to think about. I taught you a little trick at the beginning of the year, and that was D to P. So remember, if you're at a decimal and you're trying to get to a percent, you need to go right 2 places. And if you're at a percent trying to get to a decimal, you need to go left 2 places. So this trick will be big this chapter. Okay, 1, it says find 5% of 300 by writing the percent as a fraction. So 5% as a fraction, we do 5 over 100. So remember, whenever we're making a percent a fraction, we just put the number over 100. And if we're trying to find 5% of 300, of is a keyword for multiplication. If we're finding a part of 300, we're going to be multiplying. So 5% of 300. And then we're multiplying by 300. And we can make 300 a fraction, just put it over 1. So I know that 100 goes into 300 3 times. So I can cross reduce. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer is 15. And I circle it, and that's my answer. Number 2 says find 25% of 180 by writing the percent as a decimal. So first thing you do is make the percent a decimal. So you move the decimals right here. So you move it over 2, 1 and 2. So I take 0 and 25 hundredths, or 0.25, 25% of 180, which means I'm going to multiply by 180. And when I do that, I get 45. And on this, I do not care if you use a calculator or if you do it old school way and just multiply decimals. Either one works for me. Okay, number 3 says find 120% of 75 by writing the percent as a fraction. So I write 120 over 100, then times 75 over 1. And then I look and I see if I can cross reduce. 25 goes into both 75 and 100. 25 goes into 100 4 times. And 25 goes into 75 3 times. So then I multiply straight across, and 120 times 3 is 360 over 4 times 1 is 4. 360 divided by 4 is 90. So I circle it, and that's my answer. First thing I said that and I shouldn't have yet because it's not time to move on. I'm going to think about my answer here, and I'm going to say 120% of 75. 90 is going to be bigger than 75 because that's saying 100% of this, which is 75, and then 20% of this added on. So it's taking 100%, 75, 20% of 75, and then adding them together to get 90. So if you're kind of trying to think about if your answer makes sense, it does, and that's why. Okay, number 4, find 150% of 28 by writing the percent as a decimal. So decimals right here after 150, move it over 2. So we have 1.5, and this is of 28. So of means we're going to multiply. So we take 1.5 times 28, and we get 42. Circle it, and that's my answer. Okay, number 5, word problems, which is our favorite. If 275 students took the survey in the graph below, how many can be expected to have 3 televisions each in their house? So if we look at this, we look at our graph first of all, and we find the number of televisions in the home, which is 3. So this is the line that we're looking at. And it says 23% of students have 3 televisions in their home. So if 23% of 275 have 3 televisions in their home, that would be our answer. So we take 23% of 275. And to make 23% a decimal or a fraction, I'm going to make it a decimal. I move it over 2. So it is 23 hundredths times 275. And then I multiply those together. And I get 63 and 25 hundredths students would have a television in their house. Now, can a partial student have a TV? No. So, and this would be have 3 televisions. So that would be 63 students, but you can leave, I will not count off for you leaving it as a decimal.